What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Zombie JLT1 live stream. This is a unique live stream in that, as you can see from the title, this was a request from Stampede Gaming. You all should know him. He's been a very big part of the community as of late. And what's funny about this live stream idea, this was actually a joke of mine because for those of you who caught, I think it was Omega's most recent stream. Um, Stampede had come in and told Omega to play Super C and gave him a donation. And Omega, being Omega, just kept playing what he dedicated his stream to, and that's okay. We're no hard feelings there. But I jokingly told both he and Stamps, I said, shit, for $10, I'd play Super C on my live stream. Well, as it turns out, Stampede donated to the channel that exact amount, which I believe he donated to Omega in his stream too, and told him to turn off the game and play Super C. Well, unfortunately, because OBS is really screwed up right now, my alerts aren't working. So when I went to go check out Streamlabs and see what was up with that, I saw that I had a donation from Stamps, and also I had a donation from Heavy Waves, who I've been watching more and more on Twitch. So I don't even know if somehow those just didn't show up in the chat at all, or if those donations even occurred while I was streaming. So I do want to apologize to both Stampede Gaming and Heavy Waves if they are here in the live stream or if they catch the replay. I do apologize for not acknowledging those. Those were very generous of you to do, and highly appreciate that. Donations right now are going towards helping me build a better setup, as a matter of fact, so that I can have an actual gaming and live streaming PC rather than the laptop I currently use that's been crashing and probably near death. Um, but it's served me well up until this point. So uh, if they do if they do make an appearance, or if they don't and they catch the replay, my apologies, you guys, for not catching the donations and the request from Stamps. But as you can see, I am a man of my word, and I am going to honor that today. Normally, you all know I'd probably be playing Pokemon Arceus right about now. We just started getting back into the campaign mode, so I'm pretty excited about that. But as soon as I saw this donation late last night, when I was trying to figure out why my alerts weren't working, I decided that I would keep to my word and uphold this donation request. So that's what we're doing here. I just need a couple of minutes real quick, making sure that I got everything shared. I did send him a link on an invite link on Instagram. I don't know if he'll make an appearance or not, but I just wanted him to know that I'm upholding that request. So that is why we will be doing that today. Also, um, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Contra right now, and I feel the need to say that before I jump into this. I don't think that the series is terrible. Don't get me wrong. I love Contra. I grew up with the original. I grew up with the arcades even. Um, we love this series to death here. But I am feeling a little bit of burnout because I've just been seeing a lot of it. So if I come off as negative in this stream in any way, it's probably because of that. Um, Contra, along with a few others, I feel have been kind of overdone lately, to be all honest here. So I won't deny that if I see streams of Contra, or if I see streams of Castlevania, it's kind of like one of those moments. You know, I still support the streamers who are playing them, especially if I've never been to their streams before. But I am feeling a little bit of a burnout just because I kind of it's like what it was, I want to say, last year with the whole ghosts and goblins, ghouls and ghosts thing. It's like, how many times can these games be played that much, and the hype still be there? And that's kind of the reason why my philosophy has always been come for the game but stay for the streamer. Because I find that the more I'm entertained and enlightened by the person playing these games, the less I'll give a fuck about what they're really playing, in all honesty. But I will admit I've had some kind of burnout with it. So while I love the series, I do kind of I do kind of want to take a back seat to it for a little bit, just because. I still have my favorites. I still love playing them. It's just one of those things where you kind of see it over and over again and it wears thin, you know? If that makes sense. So, all right, let me catch up here. Now that I've gotten that completely off my mind, because I have a feeling that would have affected how I play this too. In all actuality, Stamps just donated for me to play it, never really gave any true specifics. So while, I am going to play seriously, I'm not going to be that, heartbroken if I don't complete it or anything like that, because this is just for fun, you know. It's how it should be. I'm not here to play competitively because there's a place for that. I'm not here to stroke my ego because I'm not like that. I'm just here to honor a request and kind of revisit this one since I haven't really played it on stream, let alone off camera in a long time. So, all right. Who do we got here? We got Leo, Josh, Samich, Gib84, CL. Who else am I missing here? Vash, the hype man. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hope I have a snack. You know what? I probably should have before I attempted this. But you know what? I'm gonna fly solo and see what we do here. Ah, darn it. I hate when this happens. Another sucky thing is that the Super Nintendo designed USB controller that I normally use doesn't seem to be registering with the Pi. But luckily I was able to get a USB NES controller. It's a knockoff one, but I was able to get one of those, and hopefully that should keep me going through here. Preach Reverend Zombie. It's funny you mentioned that. When I was in acting, I actually played a Reverend character in a play slash story called Inherit the Wind. It's a really good piece. I played the condemning Reverend Brown in that. And my director had asked me to adapt that type of presentation. So I was sitting there like, Lord have mercy. Please don't condemn these souls, for they do not know what they do, Lord. I had to talk like that the whole time. And I really felt out of place doing that because, I don't want to offend anybody. And the people at my Catholic high school really didn't think a lot about stuff like that, which is odd. But then again, it did produce a lot of drug and sex addicts, so who knows. Hey Hector, what's up? Ooh, a stuffed pizza, nice. Damn, stuffed pizza, that sounds great right now. I can't eat anything heavy, unfortunately, though, because I've got my plasma donation. And I don't want to mess that up. Because if you eat anything too fatty, it messes up the plasma flow. So I try to be in and out of there as much as possible. Ah, damn it. I swear I had more clearance than that. Fuck it, let's just do this. Oops. I don't want to continue. Who the hell continues on the first level? That shouldn't even have been an option. Here, I'll just kill myself again real quick. Boom. I'm a man's man, but I can't be touched because I'm a featherweight. There we go. How did I know you love this game, Stampede? I'm a mind reader. I just don't tell people that. You'd be surprised what I know about people when I scan you all. And unless you've seen that awesome Cronenberg movie, I don't know if you know what scanning is, but it's a hell of a trick. Man, I really gotta break this controller in. It's really stiff. And I'm pretty sure that the old debate of which one is harder, the original Contra or Super C, is probably gonna come up soon. Oh, that's right, that's just a bomb. But I don't know. I have more familiarity with Contra. We got Super C way later. So it's hard for me to really say. Although, because my muscle memory is not... Wow, that sucked ass. Because my muscle memory is not good with this one, all my jumps are going to be off. So here, let's just do that again. I also should have had some G Fuel now that I think about it. Eat enough brains. Yeah, I know, right, Hector? This is what happens sometimes when you get knockoffs off Amazon because they're Prime delivered. Overall, it's not a bad controller, though. The real reason, too, that I also got these was because when I was using a speed board for some of my streams, because for whatever reason my OG hardware is not working properly, I had to use the Pi, of course. So, oops, why do I keep doing that? Die, Jedi dogs. It was the only way to play on the Pi and still be able to use the speed board. So I had to go with that alternative. And while it's okay to use with a speed board, I don't like the curvature of this directional pad. It's so weird. It like bevels, but it angles too much. Damn it. So, like, right there, I meant to duck, but I'm running forward. It sucks. Oh well. Yawn. Dun dun dun. It totally is, Vash. It totally is. Any game is, really. Just gotta have that persistence, and then of course when it comes to most games like this, muscle memory. Just remembering, kind of programming your brain when to jump and when to do all these other things. You know? I think that's one of the take-home messages that tends to get forgotten when it comes to playing games of any sort, really. People complain about how difficult Dark Souls is, for example, and while I have not delved deep into the game, even I know that game's beatable if you know what to do. So, that's why I don't want anybody to feel like whatever gets showcased can't be done. Obviously these were meant to be played through and completed. Unless you are a programmer for, say, Action 52, which is so glitchy, it's so broken that nobody really can beat that, then every game in some way, shape, or form can be completed. It all just depends on whether or not you want to add a little finesse to it, or if you really want to exploit, a game's weaknesses, which they all have. And the reason why I put it that way is, look at task runs, for example. It does take Oh, there's 4. Oh, nuts. I'm gonna die. Yeah. I forgot there's 4. I thought there was 3. Oh well. You know, there's something to be said about even the most difficult games or games that seem unfair. I think the strategy relies on knowing the difference between, is this game difficult because it was programmed that way and there's like issues with controls, or is it just difficult because you're not familiar with it yet? And we got to take that into account too. And we've all had moments where we play a game that we know really well, and we're sitting there going like, what the hell, you know? Oh, I ran right into that. Son of a biscuit. Hey, boys. Ah, red guy didn't give me crap. Those 2 shot me at least. Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, okay. Bomb. Ye old bridge of death. Watch, I'm the one that dies. Run! Ah! Gotta love that stuff. Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it, CL. There's a lot of different things that, you know, let's be real here, okay? We're all different ages, we all grew up with different shit, we all had different restrictions on how we have to play something. Mine, mostly rentals. Okay? Keep that into consideration too when it comes to a lot of this. I had to get good at a lot of these games because I only had 2 days to play them. So naturally I'm going to be addicted to playing every minute that I have. And there's a lot that just from simple trial and error, you know, you figure out and then you just retain it. And that's where a lot of this comes from, in all honesty. I know that I'm not making a name for myself because I'm not doing NDRs and speedruns and all that stuff, and that's cool. I admire, and I shouldn't be looking at chat while I'm doing this, I admire the fact that a lot of people can do that. It takes skill, it takes consistency and practice. I mean, hell, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't have, you know, played rentals as hard as I did, nor really try to get into the NWC when we went, you know? But the thing of it is, because everybody has different play styles, everybody has different focuses, however you want to say it, that's where you develop a lot of this. Me, I'm kind of a mixture of growing up speedrunning, but also just, you know, trying to survive as long as possible. So, while Metroid may have got me into speedrunning because of the different endings and whatnot, a lot of different games just got me into trying to exploit different tricks, exploit glitches, that sort of stuff. And before we had this thing called the internet, we used to write down everything and we used to share it with our buds. You know, of course, Nintendo Power came out, made a lot of things easier, but that was part of the fun playing hardcore back then. You learn how to do a lot of this shit on your own, and then you just kind of retain it. So, if I'm doing stuff that you guys aren't aware of, then I'm proud of that. Not because I'm trying to stroke my ego, but because that means I have something to offer. And that is what I've always strived for with my channel, even before I started doing shit like this. Because I guarantee there's a lot that everybody has to offer when it comes to games. Whether or not you choose to offer it is up to you. But I'm of the mind that there is not just one gamer out there. There is not just one group of gamers out there. Because anybody can do what somebody else is doing. Whether it takes you 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, whatever, to pull it off, bottom line is, it can be done. And that's why I try to motivate people to do that, because I remember what that was like. I remember having moments where things just felt damn near impossible. But instead of looking at what wasn't happening, I looked at what I was doing right and what I could do better. I could be flipping tables over the fact that I'm not even at stage 3 yet. I don't give a fuck. Beating Super C is nothing new to me. What I'm more thrilled about is if I do something you haven't seen before. That's what I'm thrilled about. Because again, I want to have a good gaming experience with everyone. It kind of takes me back to the old days. Well, I'm hoping my milkshake or my gameplay ain't bringing boys to the yard, Hector, so I don't know about that one. But I just really like it when it just comes to good old-fashioned gaming the way it used to be, and just sitting there and just chatting away and being like, just having a good time with stuff, you know? And it can be as simple as, you know, like what you just said, that you didn't know you could do that with the tanks. Or it could be something like, damn, I didn't know you could do that jump, you know? There's something to be had with a lot of these. See, I messed up there because I should have kept moving forward. Or hell, one of the things that I really admire and respect is when someone knows hit detection really well, because that ain't always easy. And we know that that changes with every game. And you have those moments where it's like, how come I died here but not there? You know, the great debates. That's what I like. I like stuff like that. I just like shooting shit about games. I'm not out to prove anything. You know, call me old-fashioned, I guess. Oh, that one wouldn't have hit me if I didn't get too damn close. That's okay. See, look at that. I almost wore that damn thing down. Ah! All I needed was just a couple more shots. It kind of reminds me of what AGDQ used to be like before it became what it became now. When I used to chat with people on message boards and whatnot. A lot of the familiar names aren't there anymore, sadly, but you get my point. Now another thing I can do, damn it. aside from going to the side of this tank, you move just enough, let the screen push you upward, and it puts you right in this perfect level. Only problem here is that I think, yep, so now we gotta go this way. Aww, bye Rock'em Sock'em robot guys. Ooh, we got some new people joining the stream right now. Awesome. Let me take a moment to see who I missed here. Lord of the Freakabytes. How's it going? Did I just see... Let me see. I thought I saw somebody... Oh, I guess not. Oh, it was CL mentioning Carla. Okay. The Eugenius. How's it going, EC? Yeah, I mean, that's the secret with any game. Memorizing. Knowing when stuff's gonna happen, when stuff's gonna pop out, when you need to jump. That's, you know, that's kind of the key to it. Hey, Gun, how you doing? Geeks with Cash, welcome. That's cool too, because that allows you, Gun, not only to enjoy a lot of games that aren't on people's radars, but if you stream them, you help bring people closer to them, because then they can look at what you're doing and just be like, oh, that's what that game is, and either give it a try, or if they still... What the hell? I didn't stand up. If they're still interested, then you can do it that way too. Bullet barrage! Oh my gosh! And see, Contra is a series that I grew up playing with my uncle, because my uncle being my uncle, really like action movies, machismo kind of guy. He brought home the original cart, and I guess we were borrowing it from one of his friends, and we were addicted to this. Oh, what the hell? That was new. But then again, I didn't stop, so makes sense. Damn featherweight soldiers. So we really got into it, and then when Super C got released, in arcades as well, I mean, like, we played the arcades too. And then word spread that these were coming to the NES, of course. So naturally, we're gonna pick them up. Us being into Aliens and Predator and all those cool movies at the time, like, that's what definitely motivated us to play these. So they kind of were a staple. Ugh, there we go. Had just enough room. Really, dude? And that's why I was saddened when I rented Predator and saw just how drastically different it was from the movie. You know, it didn't really make sense, a lot of what was going on. So, naturally, of course, just adapted Contra to be more of like the Predator game than what Predator gave us. Ah! I bet you if I timed that right, I probably could have jumped over the explosion. Ow! Thumb freaking hurts. Jagged edges. Yep. Oh. Oh no, the big scary purple guys are following me. Oh no, now they're falling out of the trees. What do I do? Die, purple dogs. Oh, wait for me. I'm getting out of the pool, too. I mean, I know they're like an alien race and whatnot, but what threat are these dudes in purple? Wouldn't you want like a more menacing color, you know? Oh boy, here comes the Bionoid Emperor, whatever the hell crap's name he gave himself. He's supposed to be like some kind of like supercomputer bounty hunter thing. Oh, look at the big scary mechanical spider thing. Oh, it's frightening. Get over there, big spider thing. And definitely always be moving with this sucker because he's gonna cha-cha all over you. Kind of reminds me of the dancing insector from Star Fox. Let's see what's up. Da, 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 da. Oh, I love Fester's Quest. In fact, I dedicated a whole stream to that, oh, about a year ago? Maybe 2 years at this point. Highlighting that the hate that it gets is completely unfair. Yeah, there you go. Babalu Destructoid Mechano. I knew it had some, like, name. It had some name like that. Because apparently Red Falcon, oh shoot, I didn't get to the screen far enough, so I can't. Oh well. I was supposed to, before I destroyed that damn thing, I was supposed to move to the right, and then I could have just kept running, avoiding all of this. I also hate when you fall, you stutter. Don't mind the flamethrower or fireball, whatever you want to call it here. Here comes that big base that just comes out of the ground like nothing. Move it, big purple things. Don't shoot a guy, please. Oh, damn it. I didn't see that left one shooting me. Whoops. I think I know the trick you're talking about, Gun, but I went through the whole ship when I live streamed it. Just use Lurch whenever I needed to. That's really what I saved him for. Ah. Nut bunnies. Hey kids, you want a game that's gonna make sure you have arthritis when you're older? Play Contra. Yeah, Fester's Quest is definitely a game that does not deserve the hate it gets. Oh no! Exploding Cocoa Puffs! Ah! They killed me with their artificial cocoa. Ah! Ow, this has sharp edges. I hate it. This is what happens when you eat all brand. You get taken out by cannons. Where be? Ah, here we go. Ah. I wish I had something for my freaking thumb like a thumb cover or a thumb sock because this D-pad sucks. No wonder it only worked for the speed board. Oh, that would be insane to do again. Break out the speed board and be like, hey, look at me, I'm chicken pecking my controller. You see that? Second grade computer teacher? I never beat the habit. Actually, I did. I do use home row key configuration. I'm more of a speed typer when I'm a chicken pecker like that. Chicken pecker. Oh no, they're lobbing big explosive popsicles at me. Dibs on the grape. We all know y'all don't eat them. One of the advantages that the fireball definitely has... What? Whoa, wait a minute. You cannot change the curvature of a bullet. Does this look like Wanted to you? Even then, that movie was BS. There was no way in hell that bullet could have hit me in the back of the head like it did. Ah! They're bombarding me with orange. Uh-oh. Lots of sweaty men after me. Oh my god! Ah! And no Buster running Tiny Toons? That would be fun. I always played with Dizzy anyway. Dizzy Devil was my favorite character in that. Furball is really good too. His wall climbing ability is really helpful. And of course they gave Plucky Duck the Princess Peach ability, so naturally floats. The boys win for a long night here with our rifles and such. Once again, we're in the world of guns. I hope you realize that most of you won't be coming home. It's okay. Because we're doing it for the United States. Actually, we're doing it for the planet Earth. Wow, that guy sniped me off screen. That took talent. I should have just kept the machine gun, then I don't have to do shit with my other phone. I can just hold the button down and that'll be all she wrote. Despite this still being the flamethrower or fireball or whatever you want to call it, I gotta say what I like most about this is the ricochet effect. It's almost as if you're bouncing bullets. Okay, I completely aimed right at you and shot, but that's fine. Guess I shouldn't put it that way either. I aimed right at a guy and shot. Oh, nice, Romance, and thanks for popping in. Echo Base Network! Hey, how you guys doing? It's been a while. We're just having some fun. We're just messing around here. Great Jedi still being a slacker here. Yes, for those who don't know, I am a big Star Wars fan, and I represent the Great Jedi. Ah! You see that crap? He aimed downward. He was doing this when all I did was turn. Gotta love knockoffs. Gonna kill myself here. Although I do find the concept of them flipping to avoid shots and whatnot. What soldier in their right mind would be doing that? Unless parkour is part of training now, I don't really see the need for it. It's almost like they just want to be overly difficult. Like, if I'm going into a fight, am I going to show up with, like, a whole dance number? No. So if I go into combat, I'm not going to be sitting there like, Sarge, would you like me to do a backflip while I take down that enemy turret? Do what your heart tells you. And you bust out, like, a ballet number and you're like, well, you said do what my heart tells me, and I felt like being Barishnikov. I will say that this opening theme song gets you hyped. It's probably one of the best in the soundtrack. Oh! Okay. I was too far there. Ah! You sidestepped just a little bit too much, and here come the soldiers. Gotta make sure that you don't sneak up on me either. Yep, there goes my wrists and my forearms. Time to go to the doctor. I know, I'm stoked about the Kenobi show. I am so stoked about that. I think what sells it for me is the fact that Ewan McGregor came back for the role. I'm all for replacing roles if the actor or actress has unfortunately passed, or if the replacement has potential. I don't like it when they replace somebody just because a certain somebody didn't want to do the role. You know, like, people have burnout. What can you say? What happens? Burnout, typecasting, it all plays a factor. But yes, I am completely stoked about that. I still need to catch up on... Book of Fett. Just because I haven't had the time. And sure, I've been live streaming Pokemon lately, but I've been wanting to do that since I quit my job. I've been wanting to go back to it and have fun. That would have been a whole lot better if I had the spread gun. Just lay waste to the whole mob that way. There we go. I'll probably lose it 10 seconds later. Whoa! That was almost close. Put him down, boys. Alright. Watch it. Let's see if I can do it here. Just here. Get all the way back. Don't go too far though, because sometimes enemies can pop up. Inch yourself up like right about here and let the screen push you up. Nice gun. You know, I liked Doctor Sleep. I thought it was a good sequel. I definitely feel that it would have been better with Kubrick at the helm, but, you know, sadly Kubrick died a while ago. But for what it is, I liked it. I don't know if I prefer the director's cut or the original, but you can't go wrong with either, honestly. And yes, I saw the Moon Knight trailer just this morning. I didn't know that it was posted already. So, of course, I'm stoked for that. Such an interesting hero choice, too, in my opinion. I mean, I'm glad that Marvel is looking beyond a lot of the recognizable heroes and trying to do something different. It's just a out of left field kind of choice, in my opinion. I wasn't too sure if anybody even remembered who Moon Knight was, let alone if he was popular enough to warrant a movie. But then again, the same thing can be said about Morbius, too. Even though I'm still stoked for that, as you all know. Why wouldn't I be? I don't mind that it's Jared Leto because I feel like this is the role for him. Oh, let him go too far. Over here. Oh, he's being a butthead. Ah! That's okay. Cool. Really? Did I just screen lock? Okay. I'm probably gonna fall. Sucks I couldn't grab that fireball though. Whoa, jumping is a big mistake right there. Wow, not even an explosion. Nope, don't jump. Ah! Man's getting tired. Ah! Yes, it is a Mario Day. Completely forgot about that. Ah, well, we don't have the spread, but that's okay. This is just gonna take some time. Loud bubbles. Really? I find that kind of a little offensive. I mean, I get it, our dudes are made of glass, but to know that we face potential threat from Ajax bubbles, it's kind of sad. Can you imagine there's like this little squirmy guy, he's at like, you know, he's like the runt of the Red Falcon army. He's like, okay, Sarge, sign me up. And they give him the bubble gun. And everybody's got like these hawk suits and are just going nuts. Meanwhile, he's got the bubble gun. And he's like, take that. And then he ends up being the successful one because he guns down our heroes. I don't know. I just find that hilarious, but I also find that a little insulting. Feel the power of my bubble gun. And again, spreader being what it is, definitely would have helped here. But I've got this, so I'm grateful. Get my wrists a rest, my thumbs a rest in a way. Oh no, the hobby budmen are here. Look at them in their shiny redness. And then Bubble Guy gets promoted and becomes one of them. So I highly appreciate it. I want my Bubble Gun back. Ah! Oh man, I can't be doing this anymore. Yeah, well, Metal Gear was in fact supposed to be a giant mech. But you wouldn't know that unless you played the original MSX version, which, you know, was Kojima's baby. And when it got here, it got ruined. So, the funny thing is, while people blame Kojima for the horrible NES port, it was never his idea. And he hated it. Oh, come on! I completely shot upward. He hates it so bad that it's not even Metal Gear to him. That's how much he hates it. Can't say I blame him. It's a horrible port. It's glitchy as all hell. Missions don't really make sense. And all that hideous backtracking, which, you know, in most cases, wouldn't be a big deal, but, you know, well, that kind of sucks, because now I lost my spread. I lost my schmear gun. And then, yeah, replacing there a turret? Yeah, there it is. Replacing Metal Gear with a giant supercomputer, that was stupid. Because you have to sit there, you have to have the detonator, you have to have all of that. Ah! I totally jumped. Oh, that bastard pounced on my head. Yeah, turning Metal Gear itself from a giant mech to a supercomputer that you have to detonate, you know, charges on made no sense. The whole ending is anticlimactic as a result of that. No drawn out battle, no cool action, none of it. And it sucks. Like, yeah, it may have been cool at the time for what it was, but it's not true Metal Gear, you know? Ah! That was a bullet hell I couldn't get out of. So I don't blame Kojima for not liking it. I don't even think they had his permission for that either. It's kind of how, I guess you could say, Contra became Probotector in the UK, you know? Because, you know, they have certain rules in place, and they don't... Ah, I forgot about that one. Well, I'm effed, because trying to take on that boss sucks this way. Because of their restrictions, they went from, you know, human soldiers to robots. And of course, you know, we all know that it had something to do with the Iran-Contra affair as well. Can't have any association with that just because it's a word. Ah, butternuts. What's going on here? Too late for the train. My copy of Double Dragon 4 and Neon arriving today. Oh, badass, Romance. I'm still waiting for my set, too. Because I got that deluxe one as well. I haven't gotten any word about that. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Gil. Wish I was doing hot with this one. But man, trying to remember the pattern again. Let alone just trying to make it with a better gun. I mean, I know you can beat these games without getting power-ups. That can be said for any game that has power-ups in them. I'm just being lazy. Also, I really hate this directional pad. It really freaking hurts. Ow! Freaking Barney, the purple soldier here, shooting me or touching me in the back. I'm like, what is that? What do you do exactly? Can we get one little animation that shows him, like, prison yard shanking me or something? Or hell, put a bullet in my head. Animate that. Give me some reason to know why I died as opposed to, oops, sorry man, didn't see you there. Okay, trigger barrel. Trigger boulder. There we go. Ain't Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. Show me on the doll where the... Oh man, I almost died right there. Right? You got the big Contra guy in court. Alright, Bill. Show us where the purple guy touched you. Corporal Lance, will you show us where the red guy touched you? There we go. My goodness. Oh, that's cool. At least they emailed you, man. I haven't gotten an update for nothing. Ah, the Jagger Freud level. Seriously, I'm trying to remember which character it is on this, but that is exactly what his name is, Jagger Freud or something like that. Up. Not what I wanted to do, but ah! Fighting these guys sucks because all they ever do is circle you. I think that might be Jagger. Could be wrong though. Ah! Spike fall to the head. See, at least that made sense. Whoever the hell flung that nailed me in the cranium. Yeah, the mouths. Sure. What are we at? 1 hour and I just got to level 6. Yay. Actually, let's see if this helps. Ugh. Let's see how we do here. And nope. Well, doesn't that just beat all? I honestly think that... Ow. Control pad is shot. Very, very unfortunate. I'll have to find my other one. I know I have another one sitting around somewhere. Ugh. I just really hate this D-pad. This was not meant for this game. I don't even know if this was meant for any game. Thumb freaking hurts. I loved how my bullets curved there up the ramp. Physics denied. Really? I couldn't jump over his shoe? I know you can make it over him. Yeah, see? Are you telling me I hit the tip of his freaking shoe and that's how I died? Wow. Hit detection for the win. Hello, William. How's it going? It's Konami being Konami gun. What can I tell you? I mean, I applaud them for trying to be original. Of course, it would have been cool to base more of the monsters in this game off of Giger's work. Oh no, the Jolly Green Giant Man. Listen to him say scary things. Like eat your green beans. Yay, I have 2 times the machine gun. If only that meant something. Like dual wielding. Why couldn't we dual wield here? I mean, if our guy's supposed to be Arnold, Arnold dual wielded in Predator. Oh wait, did he? No. He had the M4A1, and he just used both hands, that's right. I think it was the other soldiers that had the MP5s that were dual wielding, which is still not possible because of the kickback from an MP5, but what do I know? I don't know nothing. Quit coming out the side. Oh, good luck to you, Romance. Thank you for the support, bro. And yes, hashtag zombie horde. Yeah, I think it was Carl Weathers who had the MP5s, which, again, is really tough to do because those guns are not meant to be dual wielded like that. But, I mean, he did have an incredible body. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what they wanted to, you know, allude to. But then again, action movie, 80s, who's gonna care? We want to see some explosions, damn it. That movie still amps me up to this day. Ah, why did I move? I should have just stayed there. Ah, why did I move? Ah, why did I run into the bullet? I still love that movie with a passion. Highly quotable, even though I try not to do that when I'm watching it with people. That is probably, that and Terminator 1 and 2 are probably my favorite action movies. Ah, I was too slow. Why did I try to shoot and move? Right? Exactly. Commando is ridiculous, but I love it all the same. Why did the cool trends of the 80s and mid-90s have to die like that? When we had badass one-liners and nobody cared, when we had completely action-oriented movies and nobody cared, now everybody has to have a stick up their butt about something. I mean, look what they did with the last Rambo films. All they wanted to do was boycott it and say that it's sexist and all that stuff. You know what? 20 some odd years ago, nobody cared. Everybody flocked to see those movies. Hell, I'm surprised I didn't show up in Army Fatigues when I went to go see the newest ones. You know how much fun it was to say as a kid, yippee-ki-yay, mother... Especially when your parents weren't around. I mean, that was awesome. And I know people can say things like, oh, well, those movies glorified the war and all that. Well, you know what? Here's what I say to that. Maybe glorifying the war in the way that it did helped us to come to terms with a lot of what was going on. Did you ever consider that? I say as I get grenaded. You know, a lot of people might go into it thinking that's exactly what it's going to be like when they draft and get through boot and everything. But, you know, that's just an unrealistic approach. But when you've got a majority of people who may or may not have people in the military and they're trying to not forget them but kind of take the stress and worry away from worrying about their men and women out there, maybe a movie where we have some badass soldiers is a good alternative. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I grew up in between the sort of rebellious to, okay, now we got to kind of get our things in order and kind of come back to some sort of balance here, time periods, you know. A lot of things stayed over the decades, we won't deny that, but I kind of miss a lot of the old things that you just don't see anymore, like good beat-em-up games. That genre's dead. I wouldn't mind it if 80s action movies that are good come back. And for heaven's sake, don't put The Rock in them. I mean, even to this day, I would love to see a film based on, you know, the first game of this series. Don't have to use Arnold and Stallone, even though we know that's who the look of Bill and Lance are based off of. You don't have to use them as the main characters unless they really, really want to. But it would be a cool way to kind of tie in the series and have that sort of homage by just having them as the characters. They don't even have to leave the base, you know? They can just be brought on as sources, you know? I'm not gonna get... Ooh, nice, I did. Just in time. Yeah, and then, you know, after Predators, the next one I heard was garbage. Yeah, that too, Hector. I read that article. Unbelievable. It's cartoons, okay? Come on, it's a cutesy-poo video game that's been around for years. Everybody knows that's not how you drive or work a Panzer. Everybody knows that's not what happens. Jeez. You want to talk about how kids lose their innocence and whatnot. Kids lose their innocence and imaginations because we got asshole adults telling them not to have fun with things like that. Anybody else remember playing War in the streets or at the parks? You know, you grab a gun or a toy gun, or hell, you grab a stick or whatever the hell you can find. Yeah. Nobody went into that thinking, oh, well, my piece of wood is gonna shoot you. Although that sounds bad too, now that I think about it. Nobody went into that thinking like that or glorifying war. No, we were just having fun. We understood things better back then, I feel. That's why I think that a lot of our movies and music of then made more sense and brought home a lot more messages than the stuff of today, because we were smart back then. We understood adult concepts as kids, but yet we still maintained a bit of our innocence too. Because while we were aware of what was going on, didn't mean we had to take away from our fun, you know? It's stupid. I grew up in a strict household, but I never got denied the opportunity to see a lot of good movies and hear a lot of good music as a result of that. No, in fact, my family kind of catered to that because they're all different generations. So I learned about the 60s, the 70s, the 80s movements. I learned about World War II and the Depression. So maybe I was better off than most people, but I just feel that the more you try to insult someone's intelligence and nullify them to the point where every little thing they see and hear is going to terrify them, you at that point are ruining a person's innocence, a person's imagination. Don't get me wrong, I don't let Little Z see a lot of movies that I naturally would watch, you know, because I've seen how even real life things can terrify him. That sucked. But I help him to understand certain movies, certain shows. you know, I watch things with him, and I let him make that choice. I let him make that conscious choice to say, is this something you want to watch? Is this something you want to play? You know, give him that freedom to decide. And if he is scared of something or he doesn't understand something, then be there for him to kind of enlighten him. Because I don't want him growing up terrified of the world and everything that it has to offer. Damn these Cocoa Puffs. Like, I would love it if he went through my DVD collection and pulled out the Terminator, was like, Daddy, I want to watch this. And then after I explain to him what happens in the movie, he still decides he wants to see it. Or maybe he says, okay, well, maybe not. I'm going to applaud him for that, because he made the conscious choice to watch it or not. But I'm always going to keep the offer there, you know? I'm always going to tell him, if you change your mind, you want to watch this with Daddy one day, we'll watch it. Because another thing that I talked to him about as well is when I used to do makeup and special effects for volunteer theaters, local theaters out here. And I made things from like normal paint designs to aging actors to alien creatures, monsters, animals, all that stuff. So whenever he sees something that might scare him, I can sit there and tell him, well, here's how you do that. Ah, I jumped too soon. I should have waited more. I know there's a way to kind of manipulate him too. Such an out-of-place song for this boss. Uh-oh. Not far ahead enough. Crap. Well, it's nice to know I have a shield that's going to protect me, even though I'm not going to really be approachable. It's the simple mistakes, folks. Well, at least I got the flamethrower this time. 10 seconds later I lose it because purple Nurple here jumps and touches me. Take a look at what you guys are talking about here. Multiple cartoon. Yep, I agree 100%, geeks. 100% I agree with that. Yep, exactly, Edwin. When we had to start putting warning signs on television, I mean, the whole Jackass thing, yes, I used to watch that and laugh too, but come on. The fact we have to be reminded of don't attempt this stuff really shows where we were as a society. I'm one for educating, but if we are literally filled with that many idiotic of a people, stop idiot proofing and just help natural selection out. Ah! Yep, exactly. Gun brings us back to that age-old argument. When Doom and all those other games came under heavy fire because of that, no pun intended, because of the fact that, you know, so many bad occurrences were being scapegoated that way, you know? everybody wants to blame social media, or, you know, not social media, but everybody wants to blame video games and media of that sort. Nobody wants to sit there and say, hey, maybe the real issue stemmed from the family. How about that? You ever think of that, you know? I give little zombie, you know, a get out of jail free card here and there because sometimes his autism really doesn't help with his processing and coping skills. But, you know, there is, wow. Again, stop looking at chat. There is a time and a place for when that is accurate. And if he messes up, it's my job as the parent to take responsibility for that. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, it's the TV he watches. He watches Thomas the Tank Engine. And unless Thomas is sitting there saying, hey, kids, you want to know how you can be cool in school? Bully other children. No, not going to happen. I watched a lot of horror, sci-fi, action-oriented movies as a kid. I never once went out and attempted any of the stupid stuff that people do. And you would think that would be motive enough for someone to want to try something. Nah, people are just stupid. And honestly, it's more uncomfortable the less there is a motive. So yeah, I grew up playing Doom. I never went out and did anything like that, nor did I sit there and say, you know, hey, the gates of hell have been opened. Grab your guns and let's go. It's ridiculous the amount of blame a lot of media gets. Whoa, I looked again at the chat. Glad I didn't move. Soldier 8 here would have taken me out. No, go away, Birdman. Ah, they're gonna be relentless. Yeah, damn yous. Yeah, imagine if that were true, Nick. And the way that they recruited for the military and that was they pulled the last Starfighter thing. They round up all the best players. And it's like, well, you wanted to fire off that BFG so badly at Cyber Demon, here's your chance. How much you want to bet so many people would be crapping their armor? Being like, no. Well, then why did you play and, you know, announce that this is what you wanted to do with your life? Like, oh, it's a little too real for you now. Okay. And I mean, the scrutiny hasn't stopped either. We still see it with like Grand Theft Auto and a bunch of other series. Why did I go to this way? I should have went the other way. Ah! Get us back to happier times. That's all I'm saying. Ah! Sir, I'm gonna need a new uniform and a new rifle. I think it broke under the stress of my own grip. Mr. Clean at the helm over here with his bubbles. I love how that stray bubble too was following me. As if it had enough sentience to do that. Oops. Rain bricks keep falling on my head. That surely means I will be soon dead. Especially in Contra, where the touch of a feather can make me die so easily. Harvey Red Birdman here. It's too bad they're not still bluish silver. I would have claimed the Silverhawks were attacking me. Oh yeah, there is that thing. I forgot about that. Whew, it is hot in here. It is really hot. AZ's starting to warm up again. I freaking hate it. Why? See? Bricks be falling on my head. Very true, Edwin. Very true. And that's the funny thing about horror movies. Horror movies, regardless of how ridiculous they seem, horror movies have a set of rules that you live by, you survive by. And as long as you know what they are, there's no real reason to, to feel threatened by whatever, whoever the killer or boogeyman may be, you know. Like Freddy, I can understand that. Freddy would come and get you in your nightmares. And Wes Craven based that off of a news article that he had read one day. So I get how that can be frightening. But even Nancy showed us that with the right willpower, if you take back what's yours, i.e. your fear, your dreams, he really has no control over you. And that's why, had the series not continued, it could have survived as a standalone film. But they knew the marketing. They knew that a sequel was going to be in demand by the fans. So that's why it was written and ended that way. But you can kind of see how Wes Craven originally wanted to end it and not have it turn into a series. Friday the 13th. If those kids had actually been doing their job and not messing around, poor Jason would have been alive and his mother never would have snapped. There you go. Hellraiser, the easiest damn thing to do. Don't open the box. Why is that such a difficult concept? Why do people feel the need to open it to solve the puzzle? You know, I get that's how we get our movie. That's the catalyst. But seriously, you could have that as a paperweight on your desk even. All you had to do was just not mess with it. I used to say, you want to know how you survive Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Don't go to Texas. But obviously we know that serial killers and crazy families like that can be anywhere. So, you know, horror games and horror movies do teach you life lessons. So yes, that is why we need them. Yes, and again, that was another stopping point for Craven. He wanted it to be done at 3. That's why we learned about Amanda Kruger at the very end, and that's why, despite fans wishing she had a bigger role, that's why she was written that way. She was supposed to be a one and done character. So I would have been happy with that too. You had to snow blow yours? Hey, I would have done that for you if I lived in the area. I know we've all said this before. Some of us prefer the warmth, some of us prefer the cold. Maybe I'm still in the minority that loves the cold, but I always will. Hey, GMC, welcome. We are just kind of shooting the shit about a variety of different things. From media being blamed for society's problems, to the lack of action and testosterone movies like the good old 80s ones when we had Schwarzenegger and Stallone headlining, to even early on in the stream when I was saying despite how difficult any game may be, it can be completed. So never sell yourself short. Never feel that you can't do what you're seeing other people do. Sometimes it just takes longer. And that's completely okay. I mean, hell, I've beaten Super C several times already, but you know what? I never once said that's what I was here to do. I'm here to honor a request from Stampede Gaming, as the title says. And as always, I'm always interested in chatting with you guys about whatever I'm playing or anything in general, because our chats usually do that. We tend to fluctuate from one topic to another, and that's awesome. I love that. It kind of reminds me when I used to do my 6, 7, 8 hour marathon streams, and we'd take a break to have Zom Talk, where we just would talk about random stuff, and then we'd go back to whatever I was doing or play something new. Yeah, I know, Sandwich, but you know what? I kind of have, as much as I don't like to say guilty pleasure, I kind of have a guilty pleasure for Jason X, honestly. I like Jason X more than I like Leprechaun in space, I can tell you that. Freddy hasn't been in space yet, but I'm waiting for that. Michael Myers hasn't been in space yet, but you never know. Haddonfield might colonize on Mars. Who knows? But I get what you're saying. Sometimes movies just really jump the shark. And at that point, is it even the series that we loved? I mean, that's up to you to decide that. But I'm always up for watching these and other horrible movies. Because even they deserve recognition for accomplishing something. In fact, I may even revisit my Friday Night Frights podcast idea where we talk horror movies. Yeah, exactly. Jason X was fun for what it was, and welcome to the stream, Dad Level Podcast. Appreciate you being here. No, I didn't take Freddy vs. Jason seriously, even though that has been a request all the way back to the 80s. that they could never honor because of all the disputes between Paramount and New Line Cinema. You know, nobody's just gonna offer their property like that, and unless they were sure it was gonna make money and that it was gonna be handled with some sort of respect, no way in hell that they were gonna do that right away. So no surprise, it took forever for that to happen. I think what should be understood by the movie-going audience is when you've got a movie with that kind of caliber behind it, you really can't go into it expecting Academy Award material, you know? And it's ridiculous that sometimes people just take it too far with that. Hey, it's the fire himself. What's up, Erebus? How you doing? And gentleman MVL, welcome to the stream as well. I caught the last bit of your stream before I started streaming myself. I didn't get the damn notification. But you're playing Cursed Mountain again, and that game is getting my interest. I just have never seen it out here. It's almost like it's... I don't know if anybody else has seen that that found footage film where it took place in the mountains of some country. I'm trying to remember where exactly. But so there were two of them. There was one that dealt with like a hell portal, if I remember correctly, and then them finding some kind of like alien creature out there. Or maybe I'm confusing two different movies, but that game kind of reminds me of that, but the game executes it better, in my opinion. And it's a title that I have only ever seen MVL stream. So if you guys are curious about that, go check out his channel and see the recent live stream of it. It's actually pretty good. I think it would be a game that could be easily converted into a movie, but also easily ruined if they don't do it right. Ah, he turned on me. There we go. You know, Freak, I kind of agree with that. I was pretty pissed that Kane Hodder did not return for that film because he is my favorite Jason stuntman actor. As a matter of fact, I have an autographed photo from him on my wall. And he owns that role. He really does. Like Robert Englund owns Freddy. Kudos to Jackie Earle Haley for trying to do something different with him. But, you know, Kane will always be my Jason. I know how weird that sounds, but he always will. Because he really enhanced the character to where it needed to go. Because by the time you get to 3 and 4, you've kind of accepted that Jason is almost superhuman. And that maybe the reason why he doesn't succumb to his wounds is because either he's numb to them, because they do kind of hint that, you know, he had some mental deficiencies, so maybe he just did not feel pain. But then we also got the supernatural aspect that came later, and the whole reviving him with, oh my god, reviving him with the old Frankenstein monster method with the lightning kind of enhanced that. And by that point, the role had went on to C.J. Graham, who's also a really good actor as well. He kind of established the Jason walk in a way, and him being former military, you know, he kind of brought that stern, walk upright, aggressive kind of take to him that, you know, Kane later adopted and then made his own when he decided to make him naturally aggressive. You know, that was cool. And because of that, he kind of cemented Jason as being this supernatural guy, you know, not living nor dead really. Although, technically speaking, he can be seen as a zombie. But the thing is, when you have a role like that, especially when the person's been doing that for years, you kind of gotta stick to what's there. And I know for a fact that the fan outcry was huge about Kane not being Jason for that film. And unfortunately, Ronnie Yu got the blunt end of that attack, but he has gone public and said that was not his choice. If anything, what he had the luxury of doing was agreeing with Kane Hodder, and Kane Hodder saying, you know what, if I don't get this role, okay, fine. But I will suggest this guy that I have worked with before. And Ken Kersinger was Kane's choice. So at least we could honor that, you know. At least in his mind, he picked who he thought would have been good for the role. And he has worked with Ken before. As a matter of fact, Jason Takes Manhattan, the scene where they're at the actual Manhattan diner, the big-ass cook or dishwasher or whatever the hell he is in that movie, when he comes out, that's Ken. He just picks him up and throws him against the glass, and I always thought that was a cool effect. And I used to tell people, see, Kane foretold what was going to happen to him in the future. This is his disgust with the studios for choosing Ken over him later. But there's no bad blood there. They actually know each other, they worked with each other, and, you know, Ken was nervous about taking on the role, and Kane just said, hey, make it your own. Give us your take on Jason, and that was some wise advice. Okay, let me catch up on here. Okay. All right. No problem. No problem, MVL. I thought you archived stuff at that point, but guys, seriously, if you're not subbed to his channel yet, please do so and keep an eye out for those and many other good streams that he does because that game after the first time he streamed it, I definitely wanted to own that one. I've never even seen it though. So it was really cool to see a video game that kind of had that caliber too and done well. You know, I haven't seen the whole game yet, but I'm hopeful that it lives up to the hype it kind of created for me too. Purple boulders to go with purple guys. Yeah, those are my favorites too, Freak. Definitely for sure because of the fact that while their body types are different, they established what we became Jason or what Jason became as a result of that. So definitely feel that those are my favorites as well. That's just a ridiculous myth that they added to the content. I mean, when you break Michael Myers down, he's nothing more than a psychotic. He feels nothing. Whether it's adrenaline or the effects of PCP, he doesn't feel anything. They've gone out of their way, and this is the problem with the franchise. Michael is capable of being killed. He's still human after all. Freddy is a ghost. He's a phantasm. Jason is technically a zombie. Leatherface is psychotic, but even he can be hurt and he can be killed too. Michael, they have tried to fix his mythos and tried to make him more than just a psychotic person, and that's where they failed. Because when you get into part 2 where the franchise should have ended, in fact, John Carpenter never wanted to make a sequel to Halloween. He wanted Halloween to be a series, not um, a series of Michael Myers movies, but he wanted to tell different stories during the time of Halloween. And that's where part 3 came in, Season of the Witch, which had nothing to do with Michael, but involved the rich toy maker that was using Halloween masks to kill children. So every Halloween entry was supposed to be something different. He never wanted it to take off like it did. He was one and done with the first film, as most independent directors and writers usually are. But because it garnished so much popularity and money, they're like, nah, we got to make a sequel. Carpenter said, okay, I'll come back for this, but here's what I'm going to do, here's what your guy's going to do, and we're just going to go from there. Of course, part 2 does well too, and then the whole stream of different movies came about, and they've always tried to use this idea that he was the part of some sort of Illuminati faction. I just say Illuminati generally. It wasn't them exactly, but some sort of cult. I think they're called the Cult of Thorn or something, where it's like his birthright to be able to kill like this, and he's supernatural as a result. They've ruined their own mythos practically. Um, Trying not to go too much into that, even though I've talked enough about it. Uh, he just kind of became this he went from being a psychotic to a supernatural force, and I really did not like that change in shift. Moses, part the stream, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, see if you can find game footage of it, freak. It's a really cool game. Mm-hmm. MVL's right. Right. Blah. Right. He it was supposed to end right there. And when 3 came out with no Michael, fans were pissed. So they're like, how do we come back from this? They said, well, make another movie, bring Michael back, and that'll be all she wrote. Unfortunately, yet again, the studio's getting their hands in there when they can. They had potential, and instead of just letting him die, they kept it going. And then they introduced all these other concepts like, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis actually had a daughter, and she's dead now. So it was like, why would Jamie Lee... Ah, you bastard shit. Why would Jamie Lee all of a sudden just have a daughter and, you know, end up dead? It was stupid how they did that. Yep. Mm-hmm. I like Season of the Witch too. And when I learned about what Carpenter was doing, or what he had intended, I gained more respect for that film. Because it was trying to do something different. And the story to Season of the Witch is pretty creepy in its own. I was more disgusted by what happens in that movie than what I was with what Michael was doing. So I like watching that one from time to time. Ah, I needed that bomb. You freaking spiked bastards. Ah! Gotta love how those enemies are ready to hit me from behind the gate. And that guy is perfectly placed. Ah, I moved down. What the hell? Hey, what's up, DOA? Yes, Carpenter is definitely one of my favorite directors. I love the fact that he is multi-talented like that too, making his own soundtracks when he wants to. I mean, he's not afraid to get help. He's had, you know, Enrico Marini do scores for The Thing. I'm trying to remember what else he's done them for because I keep being concerned with this damn moving alien. But you know, he's a composer he's used before, and you know, he's done collaborations with. So it's not like Carpenter feels that, you know, he can do it all. He does get help from time to time. Son of a bitch. And that's what I like about him. He can do so many things on his own, but he also enlists help too. And it's a shame that a lot of his projects never saw the light of day, even though he was an up-and-coming director. Just where the stupid alien eggs are. Yeah, no, one more. Oh, I did not want this. I'll take that. Down into Red Falcon's body we go. That's usually the case with Contra games. I think by I think by 2 or 3, Red Falcon's body is destroyed. Because believe it or not, that's what we enter at the end of the first Contra game. We go through the hangar base, and then we go right inside Red Falcon himself. Ah, I knew that was gonna get me. Fucking facehugger ripoffs. This sucks. Now I gotta make it to where I can get the fireball. Laser tag. Yeah, imagine if some of these creatures were freaking Pokemon. Oh man. Oh wow, nice score, DOA. Ah! Really? Shoot. This isn't good. I haven't seen the new Scream yet either. We need to visit that one. Oh, I hate this. Why? Because the damn slimes. I've been Nickelodeon gacked. Damn. You know, if I didn't start dying all of a sudden, I would have been cool with this. Ugh. Look at all these backdrops. Tell me this is not Alien / Giger inspired. Ah. Yup. Gradius 2, they were in that. Gradius 2 is one of my favorites in the series as well. You remember Nickelodeon Gag Freak? That's exactly what that stuff reminds me of. Anytime I see slime, sentient or not, I always think of Gak. And I used to have a bunch of that stuff too. I used to like getting the pink one and reenacting the blob with it. The 80s blob, mind you. Okay. Please, give me a gun worth using. I don't even own a gun, let alone several guns that would necessitate the need for an entire rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack? Store all your favorite Contra weapons in it, that's what. Imagine what I'm shooting through, ew. Just trying to give myself some room here. I know that those damn things are gonna fall any second. Trimming the weeds, that's all. So listen, I can't do Friday, Red Falcon, so I gotta do this now. Unless you're gonna pay me back for another day. I can do this, I can do the irrigation. But I can't do both. What do we got? You know what? I'll take it. Was it 85? What did I say? 86? 88? Something like that. That is probably one of the best remakes of a sci-fi classic. That, The Fly, and of course The Thing. Highly recommend all those. Ah! Within my reach! Give it to me! Damn yous. And of course I can't hit down there because of ricochet. I might be able to from here though, let's see. There we go, one down. See, this is why the fireball was highly improved. You see how my shots are spreading outward like that from impact? Really useful in this stage and the last. And I almost died there. Ah! And I died right there. Why did I jinx myself? Yep, Matt Dillon. Or no, not Matt Dillon. Kevin Dillon is his brother. That's the one who was in the... that was in the Blob. Yeah, the remake and the original are good. I'm not saying choose the remake over the classic. I'm just saying that it's a remake done well. Oh, come on! What the hell even hit me at that point? Woo, it is hot in this damn room. Probably lights. Lamps or whatever the hell. Also, I should probably have a protein shake just in case. Because what time is it? Oh dear lord, it is 2 o'clock. Flubber. I like that movie too, for what it was. And of course, you got Robin Williams. What's not to like? Do a barrel roll. Oh crap! I looked at the chat. That's what I get for not pausing. That's what the pause button's for. Learn from my mistakes, people. Yeah, Matt Dillon kind of disappeared from the scene for a bit, and then his career kind of took off again. I don't know what Kevin Dillon's doing nowadays, but Man, that family resemblance. Those some powerful genes in the Dillon family. What? Freaking hit my foot. That's all he did. Oh, butternuts. Well, we're gonna have to rough it. Kinda lame, not gonna lie. That's Konami messing with you though. Always liking to put things where they shouldn't. At least we got this. One bullet at a time. I think I got it. I'm not sure though. Guess we'll have to find out. The sprite stayed, but it's dead technically. Fair enough. Ah. Oh, Trick or Treat is a really cool series. I like that one. Let's see. Man, you're listing some classics there. Dad level. I love the Wraith. That was actually filmed out here. Damn it! Well, that was fun, I guess. Well. Ugh. I could keep going. It's been fun. Whew! I can definitely tell I'm a little lightheaded, so I'm assuming that my blood sugar is kind of low, even though I'm not diabetic or anything. That's what happens when you switch to bodybuilding. Your appetite and everything included just sticks with you over time. So it's kind of like I'm metabolically crashing, even though I'm not. It's just I feel that way because I haven't eaten since this morning. But we're good. We'll be good. Oh, thanks, Stamps. You know, like I said earlier, I didn't really guarantee I was gonna do anything other than stream this game because you requested it. Um, I wasn't going for any no death run, although I had it last continue or the one before that, before I got to this section. I had it up until about level 6 or 7, one of the two. Uh, and once I died there, all the cheapness started. So, you know, I just wanted to honor your request because I did not see your donation pop up whenever you submitted it. And yesterday night when I was talking to Omega and a bunch of others in my Discord, I wanted to know where these PayPal donations came from. And I was researching my Streamlabs to see what happened there. And that's where I saw that. And I felt like crap, dude. I really did. Because honestly, if I had seen when you did that, I would have done this a lot sooner. So that is what meant more to me than, you know, beating the game or getting an NDR or anything like that. All of which, you know, if I care to, I could probably do. But this series is so overdone now. I'm just kind of like, ugh, with it. I don't hate it. I just kind of want to take a break from it. But yeah, I had fun. I haven't touched this since probably last year, I think, whenever I streamed it or whenever I played it. So it was nice to come back to it. I definitely need to remember a lot of my hotspots for this game like I do Contra. And normally I don't stop. Normally I tend to keep going, just kind of like straightforward, but I don't remember my jumps in my path. So it was kind of fun to remember that as I went along. And yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed the chat we were having with everything we've talked about. So that was definitely the highlight. Um, but regardless, I hope everybody who was watching and still watching, you know, had a good time. I'm sure at some point this is going to be discussed when I'm not around, and that's okay. I didn't set out to do anything spectacular with this. And despite where my place is among the pantheon of gamers in this community, I'm going to be real. I could give a fuck what you guys think. Because I've had fun with this game and several others over the years. Beating these is not difficult. And if I'm going to get hassled because I tried to instill encouragement to some of our friends out there in saying that these games are beatable and that whatever goal they shoot for, as long as they're having fun with it and just keep at it. If I'm going to get attacked because I put that out there, then come at me any way you guys see fit. Those of you who are watching who do this shit. Because that is part of the problem. That is part of the problem with taking franchises and turning them into that shit. Especially one as beloved as this series and many others. I'm not going to name names, but if there's any kind of take-home message away from this stream or any other I've done, keep having fun with your gaming, guys. Don't sell yourself short just because you don't seem to fit a ridiculous criteria that's going around. I'm not ignorant to the subject. I'm not stupid. I know what I know. I've seen what I've seen, and I've felt what I've felt. So those of you out there who are watching, seeing games like this or others that you feel are just impossible, or you feel that you can't accomplish it anyway, don't tell yourself that. I've been playing a lot of these for years, and while I have gotten rusty, I am still proud of the fact that I still know what I know. and can probably do a lot of this myself if I actually sat down and voided myself of any enjoyment and just did it. Right now, I'm having fun with Pokemon Arceus. And I know how some people feel about Pokemon games in general. While they may not be everybody's cup of tea, they're mine. And you can either enjoy them with me, or, you know, you can just kind of keep your opinion to yourself and not dump on anybody who's having fun with them. So... yeah, I gave it an honest effort, Scrambles, and I appreciate you saying that. Because for someone like me that has the collection that I do, and a lot of these games I've completed, even the ones that really don't end because they stinking do loops and shit, there's nothing wrong with being proud of what you can do. It's when you turn it into a fucking spectacle and you make others feel like shit that I have a problem with. I'm not naming names, but I know that there's a certain air that circulates. And I've seen how that affects some people. I'm usually pretty happy, pretty easygoing, pretty chill. But take a knock at me, take a knock at people that are my friends, take a knock at everyone's abilities like that, then we're going to have an issue. Because while we all joke about the same usual stuff we do, like, yeah, take your clothes off, or sexy this person, or whatever, there's a difference in going after someone than there is friendly joking. And I don't appreciate that for a lot of people out there. So, at least in my stream, at least in the things that I host or that I'm a part of, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to tolerate that shit. And if your goal is to only highlight certain people, if your goal is to only put certain people on pedestals while disregarding everybody else and dumping on everybody else who doesn't fit your ridiculous standards, shove it up your ass and go home with it. Because we're here to have fun. We're here to relive what made these games good in the first place. We're here to chat about all the great experiences we've had. That's what this community used to be about. And that's what, unfortunately, is slowly dying away. Everybody is good at something here. At least that's how I view it in my live stream. Have a good one, Scrambles. I hope you have a good one at work. I've put up with enough crap at work to have to come here and see that same kind of BS happen. Because at my job, I got sold short. Every time I got told I couldn't do something, I did it. And 10 times better than probably what they expected and what they wanted me to do. So yeah, I know the kind of drama and the kind of shit talking I know goes on out there. If you want to be proud of whatever your guys' accomplishments are, go for it. But have some fucking humility. CL commented earlier that I showed him something that he didn't know you could do in this game. And while I could have sat there and, you know, stroked my own ego, I said, that's cool. That's what I want. I want people to be able to either be entertained, learn something new, pass it on. Give credit where credit's due in that regard, I guess you could say. And I miss kind of the glory days where people used to do that. So, in doing this, and probably many others in the future, because I've got some more games I'd like to try. I just ordered a few new ones from Amazon that I'm going to try to find the right place to do that on. And then, of course, you know, we've got, you know, whatever is in my collection once I get my OG hardware set up, because last time I attempted something like that, you know, we got to do the Atari Jaguar for a bit. My Panasonic crapped out, so I don't know what's going on there. But we can always take a look at whatever's on the pie, and then eventually, once I get the real hardware going, we can do that. I hope that every time that I stream, you guys are entertained. I hope that whenever we are chatting like this, we have a good time. Yes, the chat took a serious turn, and I am kind of venting right now. I'm also going to say low blood sugar. But my point still stands, guys. No matter what you see, no matter what you have going on out there or experiencing, don't sell yourselves short. I haven't touched this game in a long time, and you know what? I'm damn proud I got to where I got to, and that I still remember some of the things that I do. I actually have more fun helping people out in games than I do playing them and streaming like this. Y'all know me. I take pride in knowing what I know and what I can remember, because I like providing that. But even still, if I walk you through a certain point or whatever, all credit goes to you for pulling off what you pull off. Simple thanks is good enough for me. Simple, you know, hey, you know, thanks Zombie for this and that. And a lot of people tend to do that. So I'm grateful for it. Exactly. That is why that statement is one of my hashtags, Moses. Gamers helping gamers. Not gamers shitting on each other just because you want to have an ego. There's a lot of people that aren't on YouTube anymore because of this. Some that are on Twitch, some that don't even stream anymore at all. And it's because of this kind of crap that really starts putting that division there that doesn't need to happen. And that's why I'm telling everybody who's here still listening to me rant, just have fun. Enjoy what you're playing. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let anybody tell you you are only defined as a gamer by doing this. Because that right there is just ego. I don't care if you can clear through any game in any amount of time or whatever the case is, standing on your head. I don't care. While that stuff is impressive, what's even more impressive is when you show humility. And I think that's what's missing a lot lately. So, if any of my retro streams do that for you, if even my Pokemon streams do that for you, then I feel like I'm doing a service in some way, and that hopefully you truly do get something out of anything that I live stream. Or hell, anything that I chat with you guys in your streams about. Because that's the enjoyment right there. That's me having fun with all my friends who are gamers, with all our different likes and dislikes, just having fun and enjoying it. So, with all that being said, I hope that you all here enjoyed it. We didn't get the win, but that's okay. Not important. Getting a win in this game, done it. Have I gotten an NDR in it? Yes, I have. I don't need to prove anything. If my word isn't good enough, then that clearly shows what you think of me. And believe me, I already know where I stand among certain people of the community. And I could care less. There are things that I can do, there are things you can do. The best thing is when we come together, demonstrate those, and motivate each other to do the same. Just yesterday, we were hanging out in Eugene's stream, and he was playing Ninja Turtles. And he didn't complete it, but he got pretty damn far for not having touched the game in a long time. Ask anybody who was watching that. He did really well. And that is more fulfilling, that is more entertaining, that is more enjoyable than sitting there, seeing something be done a dozen times without anything to really show for it. Yeah, I dropped the ball on that, and I take full responsibility, Eugene. That's why I literally said I was going to turn in my gaming encyclopedia card, because I could not believe I overlooked that. But that's because when it comes to the later part of that level where you do have to do the ropes and the jumping, yeah, I completely screwed that up. I mixed everything up there. And yet, despite my mistake, you were doing really well. I'm glad that I tuned in to see you pulling that off and, you know, having fun with the Yoshi games too, because I like Yoshi. Yoshi's Cookie, I'm kind of indifferent about. But I do like the original Yoshi puzzle game. That one's a lot of fun. I have that on Game Boy, and it's saved me a lot of times on road trips. I'm just glad that I was a part of that. You know, just being able to listen and watch even though I was showering too. It was just fun to be there. And it was so cool to see you progress that way after you had told us you've never beaten it, or you hadn't beaten it in some time, and you were looking to revisit that. That's admirable. I like that. I like that attitude, and I liked the determination you had to go through that game, or at least far enough as you did. And that's what I'm talking about, everybody. That's the kind of stuff we need to see more often. You know, I go out of my way to try to shout out as many channels as I can, as many friends as I can. It kills me when I can't do it all at the same time like I want to. But in some way, I try to show my support. And that's another thing we need to do. We need to make sure that we're supporting each other the right way. That we're not just saying it. Because I've been told by some people, I'm not going to name names, oh, well, I was watching your stream, or I'm subbed to your channel, or I was doing this. No, you weren't. No, you're not. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. And it upsets me to know that I can put forth all that time and effort to support somebody that I think is supporting me, only to have it come around and show that they have never even subbed to me all this time, or have never even really been to my live stream. You know, as much as I blindly support a lot of people, I also believe, you know, an eye for an eye. It'd be nice to see that reciprocated, not just be told that, you know. This new job I'm getting is going to take up way more of my attention, way more of my time. So I may not even be able to say anything once I'm in a stream. But you better damn believe I'm going to shout it out when I can, and I'm going to say, you know, the old hashtag work and lurk. Because y'all know that's what I do. And I don't mind that either, Hector. I really don't. I'm a realist. I know people are probably working, taking care of the family, running errands, doing whatever. I can appreciate that. But if I don't see your name ever pop up once, or at least a message, or at least, you know, hey, you know, can't be here, but I shared your stream out, or anything like that, I have no indication that you're actually doing what you say you are. And that's hurtful too. I showed Omega once what my laptop looks like when all you guys are streaming. I had about like 8 different windows. Some Twitch, mostly YouTube. And I'm like stream hopping all over the place, letting people know, hey, shouted you out, dropped a like. I'm going to be chatting here, but I'm going to be going back and forth too. So it's not impossible. I streamed anywhere from 6 to 12 hours on Sundays, like, you know, back when I had that schedule and that flexibility. There's no reason why somebody couldn't even take the time to come in and say, hey, how's it going? Drop the like, share it, or whatever. So you see all these things that are in place to help make that easier for a lot of people, and it still doesn't happen. That's a shot at me. That's a shot at my content. And that's kind of the reason why I stopped subscribing to people, or why I stopped showing up. If I'm subbed to your channel, if I at least make an appearance, whether I'm busy or not, you at least know that I like who you are and that I'm supporting you as much as I can. So that's another thing we got to change too. We got to change how we support one another. Because that's the only way we're going to get our names out there, folks. If that's what we want, if we want to bring in more people to the community, we need to show why we are the best part of the community. Because anybody can say they're part of the retro community. Anybody can say they're part of the video game community. Those are generic terms. But what makes us stand out is who we are and what we have to offer. Yep, exactly. You sure will. You sure will, Eugene. I hope I'm there for it too. Yeah, Leo, you're kind of the same way. You make appearances when you can, and you've got your own responsibilities outside of YouTube. So I would never fault you for not being able to participate in a chat or anything. See, that's the thing. There's no denying that. We know who you are and what your situation is. We're realistic about that. Some people aren't. All they want is to take and not give. Exactly, Josh. Play what you love. Play what you want to share with people. We've all seen this damn game dozens of times. We've seen it beaten dozens of times. Most of the time the same way even. What's new that you can show us? You know, what are your thoughts on this series? Who are you when it comes to this series? Provide that, you know? And even if all you have to provide is trivia or amazing chats like this, or even just a game that no one has ever seen, have fun with it. it doesn't always have to be like this to make it a successful stream. I'd be more impressed by what someone has to say about a game and what they know about it than seeing it done the same way as many, many other players and videos before it. Because that's just it. YouTube is flooded with playthroughs and stuff like that. It's almost demotivating because for a while I considered doing that, but it's such a flooded market. It's kind of like, is it worth the effort despite what Demon and I can put to it creatively? I just have fun talking with you guys and showcasing this stuff. You know, showing different things that can be done, showing things that you may not have known, or hell, if you just want to hear me chat about the history of Contra, I can do that while we're playing. We talked about the history of Jason freaking Voorhees a moment ago, you know, and we barely even scratched the surface of that. But therein lies the potential, therein lies the damn fun. So, nonetheless, thank you all for letting me express recent frustrations about this. I hope it doesn't sour your day, your Mario day, because I'd hate for that to happen. I just wanted to have a bit of real talk because I'm comfortable with you guys in discussing this, and whether you agree or not, whether you know what I'm talking about or not, hey, in my stream, be yourself. You know, don't feel that you have to worry about what other people say or what other people do. Because if I don't give a about it, then you shouldn't either. Yeah, my ghost encounter stories. I kind of wish we had done videos on those, but there would have to be kind of like, we'd have to feel motivated for that, if that makes sense, because again, those are a lot of videos out there that, you know, get made fun of and whatnot. Um, and while I can handle that, I just would hope that whatever we did in that video would be worthwhile to everybody. We'd have fun, don't get me wrong, but I love discussing subject matter like that, and I know it's still taboo for a lot of people. I just don't need to run into, you know, the extremists calling me devil worshiper and all that jargon, you know. It's fun though. I would love to talk about that stuff again, and if that becomes a podcast topic, I mean, hell, we might even do that on the Retroactive Trio. And because of interest now, we are starting the Pokemon ArcCast, which will be a podcast dedicated to things Pokemon, which you'll see hopefully on a bi-weekly schedule. That may change depending on what my work schedule is, what it becomes. But another forum for everybody who just wants to sit back and talk about that without feeling like, oh, they're gonna be made fun of or whatever, because we don't care. And I would look forward to seeing that, Leo. I really would. I agree. I agree. Dad level podcasts. I just try not to do it on stream, but sometimes certain discussions just hit me right in the feels, and I just decide to. Nonetheless, I hope you all have fun. If there's anybody who's streaming right now that we can drop a link for, and we can do a, I can't even think of it. See, this is how brain my damaged is. Um, if anybody is streaming, feel free to drop their channel links, and we'll hit them with the whole zombie Zombie Horde hashtag. If not, no problem. I don't know if I'll be back with more Pokemon today because I do have to do my donations. But rest assured, I'll try to pop into your guys' streams if you guys are available and I'm available. And if you guys know of any good deals going on, feel free to... Freaking Josh. Hey, that's a cool idea, Hector. Why not? If it's something that people might have an interest in, go for it. I tried to do that with the podcast, and I tried to do that with some channels in the Facebook groups I'm in, but most of the time it's like they just sit there. I don't know what's going on in that world. But that's a good idea. Not a bad way to kind of spread the names, you know, get them out there. But yeah, thank you all for being here. If you guys do see any good Mario deals, I know that they were supposed to be advertising some of those. Feel free to post them and link me on Twitter or in my Discord if you remember that. Love to see that stuff. Of course, if you're playing Pokemon Arceus, keep sending your pictures because we love to see what you guys catch in the game. And also, don't forget to pick up your codes for free items and a free Growlithe in the game, courtesy of GameStop. And then Josh and I have posted links and user codes to get free stuff in the Discord as well. If you don't use Discord or you just want to have some way to get that stuff, just DM me or anybody else, and we'll share that info out too. We just want to make sure that everybody, you know, gets what they need to before those codes expire. And yeah, just have fun. Have fun with everything that you're playing, whatever you're trying to accomplish, even if it's those sick gaming pickups that y'all are making me so jealous over, because we are dry as a bone out here when it comes to game pickup and lots. Good luck treasure hunting. You know, have fun with that too. And thank you guys for sharing your pickups and your collections as well on the Discord, because I get jealous, I don't deny that, but I also am fascinated that there's this much gold out there still when, you know, everything is kind of running deep the way that it is. Okay, cool. Well then why don't we go ahead and let me see if I can get her link. I should have it because I am subbed to her channel and I am a mod there too. If she hasn't started yet, even better, but I'll try to get the link fast enough. And I know that Camp Survivor is also streaming on Twitch as well, I believe. We've got GMC streaming West Virginia and Kansas. He had a basketball game on that normally I only watch college sports, but he had a game on that was pretty good, and I was like, well, I'd have to go with this team. It's already premiering. Darn it. 15 minutes in. Okay, but here we go. Cough, cough, Vectrix. Oh, you boys and your toys. I love it. I would feel proud to own a Vectrix too. I'm not shaming you for that, but I feel you. I understand. Go for it, you know? So yeah, there you go, guys. We've got Zap Crystal, my lady Zap. Not literally, I just call her that because we've been friends for so long. She's streaming, or she's premiering a video. Check her out. Feel free to drop the Zombie Horde hashtag. Let her know that we're there to support her. And thank you all for being here. I had a blast. Thank you all for providing me great conversations yet again. I wish we could do this in person. And I hope to catch you all later in your streams, let alone if I stream Pokemon or any other game in the future. And again, thank you, Stamps, for your donation. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm glad I could honor it in some way because it meant a lot to me, even though we joked about it in Omega stream. It meant a lot to me that I keep to my word and honor your requests like that. So thank you Heavy Waves, for your donation as well. I think that happened in my last stream and I didn't catch it because my stupid alerts don't work. And thank everybody who continues to support the channel, what I do, whatever the hell I stream, because I guarantee you any chance that I have to talk with you guys and, you know, shoot the shit about anything, I have a blast. So, thank you all for being a part of the Zombie Horde. I will catch you all later. You all have a good one. Get them Mario deals, folks. I want to see what you guys get. Because until my tax return comes, I'm not able to buy anything. So, take care, everybody.